In here we should have another Orient dive watch, a different type in the Mako series apparently, according to TUS Watches, who sent this over. It seems Orient has returned to spamming out dive watches, which is never a bad thing. Let's take a quick look inside. At least according to the stock images, this one looks quite different than the recently released Mako 3, which I've got on wrist here. This one they've gone for maybe more of a smart casual vibe. Wow, God. They really have done some good watches recently. Really, again, looks much better in person than it does online, and this is definitely a much smaller watch as well. I kind of didn't realise at the time the visual difference between this, which is 40mm, and this, which is 41.8mm. Even though it really doesn't wear like that, this again looks for sure like it's going to wear smaller than a 40mm. Quite a subtle colour again. This one's like a purple dial, but it's more like a light violet in real life. Let's see if that bezel is real. It is. Although, very different feeling to this one. This one moves extremely easily, and if anything, is a little bit loose. Whereas this one is much tougher and better, I would say. It has less back play on it. Very interesting watch. This time, as you can see, this particular variant at least comes on the strap. Going to be honest though, this strap is absolutely shambolic levels of quality. The keepers are pretty decent, but I can tell straight away this is just so wafer thin. This is absolute garbage strap. So maybe if you can get this one on the bracelet, it might well be worth the extra, because this is just landfill worthy, unfortunately. You can see there just a simple bend and it's immediately creasing, so really wouldn't recommend it on this band unless you're buying it for less deliberately and you've already got a strap that you want to replace it with ready to go. Aside from that, the main watch itself is actually pretty decent, and as always I would rather that they cut costs on a garbage band than, you know, the rest of the watch. But yeah, it's got that same kind of Mako icon on the back. Looks much better than expected in person. And the case is definitely a slightly different shape too. It's got more of a chamfer that runs the entire edge of the sides. And also the markers look nicer on this model than they do on the Mako 3, whose were pretty flat, and they look good on macro actually, but in real life they're a little underwhelming. These look really high quality actually. Can't see any, at least at first, they're misaligned, so very excited to give this a try. While the strap is garbage quality, visually it looks nice and it does go with the watch, I have to say. Yeah, not a bad looking watch at all. My wrists are really thin, at like 6¼ inches to 6 inches, somewhere in that region, and yeah, this watch fits me really well actually, considering it's 40mm. Let's get the calipers on and see if that is actually the case. That's funny that I actually have that measurement down at 38.8 and here 39.7-ish. Slightly smaller, I guess, but it certainly looks and wears more like a 38 to 39mm watch. Maybe that lug to lug is partly responsible. Let's have a look at that. 46.3, that is pretty short indeed. Very nice looking watch, I have to say. It looks much better in real life than it does on camera. You'll often find that with the super oversaturated watches, like the likes of the new Seiko 5s. They look probably better online than some of them do in person. This Orient is kind of like the opposite of that. But keep your eyes peeled, review coming shortly.